Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about having sex with bears. All right. I'm about to embark upon, I think this would be like hour 4 or hour 3 of my playthrough, however you want to measure it. So I'm not particularly deep, and I also was pretty good at avoiding various spoilers about the game. I, of course, did a stream when it was in early access, but the one thing that did manage to pierce the veil in social media was an early marketing video for Baldur's Gate 3 showed a character having sex with a bear, and it is a sensual sight to see. It's done very tastefully, this sex with a bear scene. And, I mean, the number of people that I follow on Twitter who are saying, man, I don't really want to, or I didn't really know that much about CRPGs or D&D or Baldur's Gate, but I hear you can have sex with a bear in this game. Let's go. Like the number of bear memes that are just on my feed. But despite the fact that it's treated in such a memey way, I want to go along my usual grain and try to treat this with sincerity. Why do I think that it was brilliant for them to share this sensual bear love scene? When it comes to role-playing games, I feel like there's this sort of falsehood that we all kind of agree is the way that it is, which is, in this role-playing game, be anyone, do anything, tell the story in your way. And really what happens is 100% of people go along the exact same story as everybody else. There's nothing that is that me about the story at all. Occasionally, it's like, do you want to be a good person or a bad person? Do you want to give your money to the person who's hungry, which will give you some XP, or do you want to not, and then you can use that money to buy something? And that's it. That's the entire extent of so many choices. And it's almost like an aesthetic difference. I remember talking about this in the What is Baldur's Gate video. But like, okay, so if I say I'm a little evil and I do something mean to this person, it doesn't matter for the next beat of the story. It's the exact same thing all the way through. And this is not a bad way to make a game. For instance, Mass Effect, one of my favorite games of all time. Most people who play Mass Effect have the exact same story. Yeah, you can be evil, you know, but really you're going through the story and that's great. That's totally fine. The thing that is a little uncommon is what has excited me when reading reviews and hype around Baldur's Gate 3 is the idea that I am actually making choices that send me along a different trajectory so that 30 hours into the game, my 30 hours might look completely different from Co Carnage's 30 hours, which might look completely different from Dance Gaming's 30 hours. And how do you convey that to someone who hasn't purchased your game yet? Because it's actually kind of tricky to say something like, watch 30 hours of these 3 different streamers and note that it's different. You person who apparently doesn't have a job that allows you to spend 90 hours evaluating. Well, you could say in a marketing message, oh, you can go anywhere and do anything, and different trajectories occur that locks things out. Oh, we've heard that garbage before. I bet it's just a linear story that you go through, and your choices don't really matter that much. But when you show a scene with sensual bear love, I feel like this immediately sets an expectation of, yo, you can do what in this game? It's so insane. No one that I know who watched that went, oh, I bet it's a linear story where everyone has sex with the bear. Fucking nobody says that shit when they see that. No one's gonna look at that video and be like, oh, it's another one of these games. I wonder when I get to that part. What happens in your brain, and the way I've seen people describe it is, what do I need to do to make that happen? What else can you do in this game? And I think that that's why it was real brilliancy to share that sort of footage, is that it's so out there that it accurately communicates that in this role-playing game, your choices matter in such a way that you can have probably all the usual expectations of good and evil roots, maybe some other fresh expectations of new content that you're unlocking and other content you're blocking out. And also, there's probably some Easter eggs / crazy shit. I think it was a really, really, really clever video to share before the launch. And remember, no bear glove, no bear love. Okay? Just saying that remove my monetization on YouTube, does it? Does it? I mean, that's... I thought it was... I think it's funny. Is the video done? We're gonna... There it is. There it is. That's my take.